What's up, YouTube? This is Truth TV NZ, and this is the third Jeffrey Epstein video that I've made. I didn't expect to be making 3 Jeffrey Epstein videos, and this might be shorter than the other ones, but hey, I just have a lot to say about him. You know, he's a very big individual, and he's very popular right now. And I figured that I might as well ride this bandwagon. Now, I didn't make this video to ride on the bandwagon, but I do think that this is worth covering, because I wanted to talk about my thoughts, try to bring some rationality into it, because I don't think everyone's being rational about it, and I want to fix it. You see, who founded India said, be the change you want to see, and that's what I do. You know, it's like, I might not nuke people like in Civilization 5 and 6, I might not, you know, sleep next to my niece naked, and I might not support Pakistan or in Bangladesh, but I do want to be the change that I want to see, just like Gandhi. So, you know, let's get into this. Basically, in the last 2 videos, I was talking about why I think Jeffrey Epstein died, why I think it might be fake, like the files might be fake, and now I want to talk about whether or not I think Jeffrey Epstein is a psyop. Basically, there's a big idea in the truth community that everything that isn't part of the truth community online, everything mainstream, everything that goes mainstream is basically a psyop. You know, a psyop is basically when the government does something, but they try to make it seem like it's against the government, basically. That's kind of a simplified kind of way to explain it, but that's kind of like what's up. And basically, we're trying to figure out, is Jeffrey Epstein a psyop? Is this a government conspiracy? Is this fake? Yes or no? Or maybe? Well, I want to talk about my thoughts on it, and if I think Jeffrey Epstein's a psyop, and whether this is a psyop. You know, I want to talk about, I kind of want to talk about this rationally, because I feel like the people in the truth community, they call everything they don't like a psyop, they call everyone they don't like a shill. And they basically think everything they don't like is an Illuminati conspiracy, even when, it's just another opinion. And it's something I find really frustrating about the truth community, and it's something I don't like about it. It's like, you know, the truth community gets enough hate from people and all that stuff, and, you know, we get enough hate from people, we get enough persecution and scorn from society, we get enough hatred from society, so this is the last thing we need. And it's like, you know, I just think it's like the way that a lot of people on this are, you know, we're standoffish, we don't like society, so when we feel like someone's trying to barge into that, trying to bring society's ideas into it, we feel like someone's trying to hijack our movement, we kind of overreact. I get that, there are people legit trying to hijack it, but dude, there's people who want to bring us down, and they want to persecute us, and we got too much infighting, man. So I'm going to be covering that in another video. That pisses me off and frustrates me, and people say everything's a psyop, but I think that the idea that everything's a psyop is a psyop, if that makes sense. So yeah, this is basically this video is going to be about whether or not Jeffrey Epstein's a psyop or not. So basically what I think about Jeffrey Epstein and whether or not this dude's a psyop or not is basically, I think Jeffrey Epstein is for real. He really is part of the Illuminati, or working for them. He really did what he did on Jeffrey Epstein's island. Epstein's island is real, even though some people think it's fake. And I think he really did the things that he did. I think that at least some of the emails he had were real, but I think that his realness is exaggerated, and some of it is kind of fake, or other people did it. It's real, but other people did it. I think it's being exaggerated and kind of played more for drama and stuff. It's being kind of exaggerated and drawn out, and they're trying to milk it to basically cause division in society. Do I think Jeffrey Epstein did everything he did? No, but I think he did a lot of the things he did. I don't think that he's illegitimate. I feel like he's real. I just don't believe everything that was attributed to him actually was real. So yeah, basically, I wrote in my notes that I think other people did what Jeffrey Epstein did, and the connections we see are either fakes or related to stuff like Pizzagate, etc., but were attributed to other people. So basically, let's say we see a Jeffrey Epstein email saying Jeffrey Epstein and his buddies did XYZ. Well, that could be real, right? But was it Jeffrey Epstein? My opinion is not always. That's basically what I think in a nutshell. Like, I think it's far-fetched to say that it's all fake, it's all a psyop, because about 6.6 million emails, and a lot of them seem to line up with things we've already figured out. So I think those are actually real. I think some of them, at least some of them are real. I just don't think the old Jeffrey Epstein, in my personal opinion. That's what I think about Jeffrey Epstein. I don't think it's a psyop. But I feel like this is an agenda to divide society. It's a vision. I feel like this is actually something that other people think. That's what I think. And before that, I want to talk about what I think his role in this specifically all is. Basically, before I get on the next part of the video, let's talk about some things about Jeffrey Epstein and his connections and some things I know that other people might not know and stuff that basically I think might explain his role in this. Basically, Jeffrey Epstein is part of the club, but he's kind of a fool guy. I think it was a CIA asset and all that kind of stuff, and I think he works for them. But something that's underlooked is his ethnic heritage. Now, Jeffrey Epstein is Jewish, and his last name sounds Jewish. There's lots of other Epsteins. And there's lots of things I can't say on YouTube about those kind of people. The JUWs, those people in Israel. There's a lot of things I can't say, but those kind of things that have been said about them is the reason, in my opinion, why Jeffrey Epstein is part of this, why he did what he did. He does. I think that religion, Judaism, and those people, I think they were the first ones to do it, basically. Basically, they were the first ones to do it, and aside from the Freemasons, Illuminati, they were the first secret society. And I gotta say, I am of that ethnicity. I am partially of that ethnicity. The fact that he's part of the JEWs and those things is part of it, because people don't realize those are the first people. They were the first people to be occultists and to be Illuminati members. And basically, I think they were some of the first people. They weren't the only people, right? There were other people, but I think they were some of the first people. I think they're one of the oldest groups, because if you look into it, Freemasonry actually seems to be related to Judaism. A lot of the things they believe in the Kabbalah, the Zohar, the Talmud and stuff, and a lot of the things the Freemasonry practice seem to be similar, and they take from figures in Judaism such as Solomon and Solomon's Temple. I think Solomon's a Freemason. If you read the hierarchy in those books, it seems like the Freemason Illuminati, they came from a group of Jewish people and of Jewish Christians. And although I don't believe that Jesus Christ was a Freemason, I'd agree with what the hierarchy says. I think they're part of it. I basically believe that since the start of time, I think the JUWs and the Freemasons have been working together. So that's what I think. I think that Rothschild Judaism, that kind of Judaism ain't the same. It's not the same as Freemasonry. I think there's a connection, and I feel like they've been working together for a long time. That's what I believed. I think the fact that Jeffrey Epstein is a JEW is part of the reason why he did what he did. I've talked about how why I don't think Jeffrey Epstein's a psyop, why I think Jeffrey Epstein files been released, why I think Jeffrey Epstein might be fake, why I think they killed him. Now, let's talk about why I think they're making up a public buzz and going to release the Jeffrey Epstein files even though it exposes American government and American corruption. Well, before anything else, the reason they're exposing it, the number one reason they're exposing it, if nothing else I say is true, is because they know people ain't gonna do shit about it, man, because people are so brainwashed that they'll accept the government doing whatever they want, even though they know our governments are corrupt and evil and wicked and this society is wicked. They feel like they either can't do anything or they naively believe that our governments are gonna come and save us. And I believe that's the number one reason, aside from anything else, why they're doing it. But at the same time, there are other reasons. So, first of all, let's talk about basically what I think it is, if nothing else. I'm going to be reading from my notes here. Basically, my overall take is they are releasing these files to pacify, to placate the public, and to bring down Donald Trump to cause the Second American Civil War in preparation for the New World Order. And they want to take down America because of the threats of the New World Order, and it might be the reason why it hasn't happened yet. Also, the same government that covered up the Epstein files is releasing them, even though 2 or more of their presidents were in it and are still in office. Like, that's crazy. So, yeah, basically, what I was trying to say in my notes is that they're trying to do this to destabilize American society and to help create the New World Order. Like, every agenda they do is a New World Order agenda. If you don't know what the New World Order is, basically the New World Order is a planned world government that is going to be totalitarian, and it's going to control all of us. It's going to make us get a chip in our right hand, that's my left hand, and our forehead. Basically, in the book Revelation, it says it's going to be a world government with a chip in our hands, chip in our foreheads, and it's going to be like a tyrannical, totalitarian world government. Imagine Nazi Germany, or North Korea, or China, or Russia, but worldwide, and there's no escaping. Well, you can escape, it's just going to be hard. That's basically what the New World Order is. They're trying to get us to accept this tyrannical, totalitarian world government. People say, this will never happen, but if you look at the history of Nazi Germany and China, both of them did the same for the New World Order is going to do for us. People fell for it. In China, Mao Zedong was basically like, hey guys, China's falling apart, but hey, I'm the answer. If you accept communism and you join my revolution, I'm going to make your lives better. I'm going to save you from your problems. But fast forward to now, we got communist China. They're out here genociding Muslims, they're genociding Uyghurs, they're genociding people like that. Nazi Germany, well, Hitler was like, hey guys, the Weimar Republic sucks. This place sucks. We got all this economic debt and inflation, and we go to these Jews that ruined our society. Well, but if you follow me, I'm going to make like Nazi Germany and make it an awesome place. So basically, the New World Order is going to be that logic. The kind of logic you see where you see like Middle Eastern dictators rise to power, that's how the New World Order is going to be. This is an agenda for the New World Order. Part of the New World Order is that they got to take down America, and they got to take down other like big countries to help usher in the New World Order and to just destroy the world basically, so they can rise the New World Order from the ashes. It's like a phoenix that rises from the ashes. Basically, there's like these prophetic dreamers that say that America's going to be split apart in a civil war. Donald Trump apparently being assassinated and stuff, but it's a fake assassination. And after it's going to be a third world war. Then after that, there's going to be a New World Order, the Antichrist, the Obama, whatever. So basically, part of this with the Jeffrey Epstein's files is basically with Jeffrey Epstein. They show that Donald Trump's part of it. Then we have these MAGA-tards, these Trump-tards, trying to support Jeffrey Epstein and shit. And they're I don't mean Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump say that, no, Donald Trump didn't do anything. There's going to be this back and forth about Donald Trump. Then it's going to make America, fall apart. There's all this destabilization happening in America due to these stupid-ass elections and these dumb-ass rigged elections. By the way, those things are rigged. Basically, thanks to all that kind of stuff, man, that country's gonna be destabilized, it's gonna fall apart, there's gonna be a New World Order agenda, and the reason why they want to take down America is because America is a threat to the New World Order, because the conspiracy culture came from. That's where Christianity came from. Well, I mean, it's like the people who are in America are Christians against the New World Order, and the government conspiracy movement started there. It's like there's a lot of anti-government dissidents in America, and they're trying to take it down because if we go to America, we can't have a New World Order because America is a nationalist place. Nationalism is the enemy of the New World Order because the New World Order wants us to submit to the New World Order. They want us to submit to our races, our families, or whatever. They want us to submit to the New World Order. That's why they're trying to promote anti-racism, because if you support your race over someone else, you're gonna try to defend your race over someone else. And if someone tries to persecute your race, you're gonna defend them and you're gonna fight against the government and stuff. So that's why they promote anti-racism, they promote anti-nationalism, because if you support their nation, if someone compromises your nation, then you're going to support your nation over theirs. Basically, they want our allegiance to be to the New World Order and to nothing else. So that's what's going on, in a nutshell. And Jeffrey Epstein, that's part of the New World Order, destabilizing American society and collapsing America and making us hate America. Because the reason why it's focused on America and not every other country, because they want us to hate America. Not because America's the best nation in the world. No, that place was founded by Freemasons. Because it suits their interests. I'm not an American, but I support American values. I love the truth community, so that's what's up. Now, for the other reasons they're doing this, they're promoting Trumpism. Basically, Donald Trump has a cult of personality. If you search up cult of personality, that's what he has. And distracting us from the Rothschilds and government agendas for New World Order. Basically, there used to be talk about conspiracies and all that kind of stuff. The New World Order, world government, gun control, like jabs, vaccines, what's wrong with the vaccine, chemtrails, false flag operations, all that kind of stuff. But now what we want to talk about is how everything's a psyop, talk about Jeffrey Epstein, talk about like Pizzagate and all that stuff, talk about Tartaria. Boy, I want to make a video talking about why I think we need to stop talking about that kind of stuff. Basically, they don't want us to focus on what's important, they want to distract us from more important things. Basically, the truth community is a really, it's quite a threat to the Illuminati, so they want to do as many things as possible to stop us from talking about what's important, and they basically want to distract us. I think that although the Jeffrey Epstein files are real, I think they're also a distraction at the same time. Another thing I forgot to mention, another reason they're releasing the Epstein files, is to make us feel like the government is taking care of all of it, and to hijack the truth community, to make the truth community pro-Donald Trump, and to make them think that someone else is gonna help us out. Listen man, ain't nobody gonna be helping us out who's a governmental figure. The only people who can help us out is ourselves. There's only two people that are gonna help us out and can help us out. Us, and other people who are truthers, and God. The Most High. Yahweh. God. Jesus. Whatever. I don't think Jesus is God, but that's the thing. The only people who can help us out is God, because God's an infinite being who created everything, so God knows everything, God can do anything, and us. But really, we should only really be focusing on us, because God's real, right? But, we can't just passively rely on God. We can't just wait for Jesus, Muhammad, or Yahweh to save us. We gotta, do our own work. We gotta, do our own things. God created us to be able to change things of our own will. God gave us free will to do things. God gave us the ability to do many things. We're like divine beings in the image of God. So God, God ain't gonna do it all for us. God wants us to figure it out ourselves. So we gotta figure out ourselves how to stop the Illuminati and the Freemasons and the New World Order. It's gonna be hard, but God is against it. He's 100% against the Illuminati, the Freemasons, the New World Order, and all these authoritarian occultists that want to do it. It's if you're a Christian, Jesus was against it. If you're someone who believes in Islam, well, Islam talks about the New World Order. And if you're a Jew or Old Covenant follower, well, Yahweh was against the people who would end up founding this. All these Babylonians and stuff, and these Hamites that were occultists and stuff. These Egyptians, well, they're part of the same group as Illuminati. So yeah, man. Ain't no government gonna come to save us. The only people that can save us is us and God. Before I end this video, I want to just quickly address some dumb things I've heard on social media. I've heard some dumb shit that people have said about the Epstein files. Now, a lot of new people discovering these Epstein files, freaking out about it, and there's lots of these new age kind of people giving their take on it, and although they got the right to say it, it doesn't mean it isn't stupid as hell. And I just although I got a high threshold, a high tolerance what other people say, there's just some shit that people say that's fucking bullshit. And I just want to go through the kind of bullshit that people want to say. First of all, it ain't a psyop, man. Everything's a psyop is a conspiracy. Saying everything is a psyop is a psyop. Everything is a Illuminati conspiracy meant to divert us isn't an Illuminati conspiracy, because it means that we don't have any hope that we can change it. There's all these truthers that say, oh, this truther I don't like a shill, and it's a psyop. Oh, this guy doesn't agree with me, so he's a psyop. Oh shit, this guy's made a public movement in real life that's not on the internet, that's a psyop. No, that's fucking bullshit, man. You know, it's just not true, man. It's just bullshit. Like, I want to make a whole video about it. I feel like I can do this justice because I don't have, like, the patience nor the time to do it right now. But it's fucking bullshit. Like, stupid ass thing that people are saying is that it's like, this Jeffrey Epstein file stuff is a way to, like, harvest our energy. It's a way to create a fake awakening, man. And they're basically just trying to say that it's some kind of spiritual energy conspiracy. And, like, although I do gotta say that actually is real, like energy harvesting, like negative, demonic, dark energy. Yes, that stuff's actually real. Like, demonic dark energy is what the Hindus call tamas, and the Jewish people and the Israelites called uncleanliness, Levitical uncleanness. Yes, that stuff's real. Energy harvesting is real, that's loosh. Okay, loosh is actually real. Why they do shit to piss us off all the time, to keep us in a low vibrational state. Yes, that shit's real. Every Epstein files isn't just a way to harvest the energy. Most government conspiracies are not that, okay? They're not doing this stuff on purpose. And if they are, that's because of subconscious manipulation, demonic entities, and fallen angels. Yeah, they are real. Fallen angels and demons are real. I've got attacked by one who gives me these things with old covenant attacks, basically trying to convince me to not believe in Christianity. So they are real. Jeffrey Epstein, that isn't a way to do it, man. Like, that ain't what's going on. And people think that, like, people waking up to Jeffrey Epstein, waking up to Illuminati, the Freemasons, New World Order, whatever, they think that's somehow a conspiracy. They think that that's somehow a way to, like, make people, like, get into New Ageism so they worship, like, Satan and stuff like that. No, that's fucking bullshit. How's exposing a Satanist making you worship Satan? That doesn't make sense. The New Age religion, yeah, that's a psyop, okay, that's occultism, that's real for Hinduism and Buddhism, but that stuff is not a psyop, you know, like, it's not energy harvesting, man, that's just bullshit, you know, that's just not true. Releasing some messed up things Illuminati does is not a form of energy harvesting. I think causing arguments and constantly making us feel unhappy by stressing us out, that's energy harvesting. So yeah, it's fucking bullshit. You know, and they think that, like, talking about conspiracies is, like, what they want us to do to harvest the energy. I want to say, no, that's bullshit. Talking about conspiracies isn't a conspiracy. Not talking about conspiracies and saying this stuff is, like, energy harvesting, that kind of bullshit, this kind of stupid bullshit is a conspiracy. They want to make it seem like it's a bad thing to talk about government conspiracies, and they want to make it seem low vibrational, basically. Just say, man, anyone who's into that stuff, you guys gotta, like, stop looking into this, like, everything that's negative is low vibrational. You guys gotta stop buying into that bullshit. The New Age, like, conspiracy, man, like, the New Age movement and agenda is bullshit, you know, it's fucking bullshit. You know, like, I'm not against, like, looking into it. I don't think everything in the New Age movement is, like, bad. It's just this bullshit. It's a rip of Hinduism, Buddhism, and it's basically occultism. It comes from Theosophy, which was founded by someone who made a proto form of fascism and Nazism and stuff like that, right? And it was also made by, like, someone who was trying to revive pre-flood civilizations. Those people were, like, and the pre-flood civilizations, like Atlantis, Lemuria, they were basically getting knowledge from the Watchers, from the Book of Enoch, to do occultism and advanced technology. So basically, this shit's occultism. It comes from Aleister Crowley, the pre-flood world's, like, ideology, and Alice Bailey slash Helena Blavatsky, who, by the way, who I think is Alice Crowley. I think that she's a transgender version of Aleister Crowley. I think Aleister Crowley was a tranny and stuff, and I think Helena Blavatsky was a tranny. And basically, stuff is just occultism, man. So stop buying into this New Age bullshit, man. The New Age idea that, like, anything that's conspiratorial is an energy harvesting ritual is fucking bullshit, man. So, you know, there's also, like, this other woman who says that we shouldn't research, like, the Jeffrey Epstein files, man, you know, because, like, we shouldn't research the Jeffrey Epstein files because it's so negative and it's so draining upon us, man. And I say, yo, man, no, there's nothing wrong with researching this kind of stuff. We should research it so we know what they're up to. It's fucking common sense. Just we need to have some balance, man. That's what's going on. Basically, what I said to this, is there anything wrong with researching it? What my answer to it was, no, there isn't. Just make sure you pay attention to other things and figure out what they are distracting you from, like what government conspiracies they're trying to distract you from. And basically, like, that's what's going on. So basically, there was this woman on Instagram who, she's a great woman, she's cool, but she basically thinks that you shouldn't research your Epstein files because they're designed to distract you and stress you out. And, well, they are, like, you know, for the bigger picture, to destabilize society and stress us out, they are designed to stress us out. That doesn't mean we shouldn't research it. It doesn't mean that we should, like, avoid researching it. Like, that's just stupid. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. I did get quite, like, pissed off and angry about it. I do try to stay calm. It's just seeing this kind of, like, stupidity and nonsense is just really frustrating. So, yeah, I'm Truth Z. I'm out. Peace. If you got any thoughts or comments, if you disagree or agree with me, let me know in the comments and we can talk about this. I'm expected to be more videos. I'm going to try to post more, and I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope you thought they were eye-opening. If you want me to cover more Epstein videos, I'm totally willing to do that. I got other videos I want to make, so I can't promise you this Jeffrey Epstein stuff's going to come out like right away, but I can promise you that I'm going to make more videos, and I'm happy to be back on YouTube. I'm Truth TV. I'm out. Peace.